Another thing from the documentary, they had a radio personality, a DJ. The station that he was with was called Hot 96.3 and 103.7. 96.3 is a frequency out of New Bern. 103.7 is out of Greenville, with the tower in Williamston. Let's see here. Okay. Coming up on the hospital now. But the funny thing is that the radio station is now a talk radio station. But the same frequencies still exist. You know, you can listen to 96.3 in New Bern. There's a hospital over there. I believe the signage looks fairly similar. I believe it does. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. So there's a little shot of the hospital there, as you can see. I need to go, okay. Now, I believe we're going to the high school. Now we're kind of getting out of the town of Washington and into Beaufort County. There's a Beaufort, North Carolina, and a Beaufort, South Carolina. The difference is the people in South Carolina pronounce it Buford. North Carolina's Beaufort. So there you go. Learn something new every day, right? Washington High School. Thank you, donors. Okay, so this is Washington High School. I think you can see the sign here, I believe. Look, the guy even got the gates open for us. Look at that. And I think this was remodeled. It looks newer than 20 years old, but the sign is still the same. Look at that, class of 2000, right there. There we go. See that? That was definitely in the documentary. It was a little bit newer, obviously. It was like less than a year old when the documentary was filmed, but there we go. And as Vanessa Williams would say, I saved the best for last. Yep, we're going to the Von Stein house now. Ooh, the murder house. Yes. We're going to the murder house. Murder house. Look out for the murder house. 110 Lawson Road. Which, in the early morning hours of July 20-something in the year 1988, 911 call went in. And there's also a book, I believe, by Jerry Bledsoe named Blood Games, which I might try to read sometime. This is the first of several City Confidential documentaries, video tours I want to do for this channel. Another one I'm going to do next week is Conway, South Carolina, Fatal Friendship. And I'm reading a book based on that murder of Crystal Faye Todd and Ken Register. So, Ken Register, yeah, right. It's very good so far. I'm like, first book I'm probably going to read cover to cover in like probably a year or something. But okay, I got to go to one point. So if you have no idea what City Confidential is, I'll go ahead and give you the spiel. Okay, City Confidential aired on the A&E Arts Entertainment cable channel from 1988 until 2005. The show ran for about 135 episodes, which were broken up into about several seasons, like 10 seasons of 13 episodes apiece. But this show was cutting edge at the time because it was not just a documentary about a crime taking place. It was a documentary about the town or the city that the crime happened. And this show would do small towns like Washington, North Carolina, but they also do big they would do big cities like Atlanta, or medium-sized cities like Knoxville, Tennessee, or they would do Philadelphia. They did Bermuda, Hawaii. So yeah, it was a wonderful show. The neat thing about it was a little bit like Unsolved Mysteries, where the pace of the show was a little bit slow, but it was okay. Because you really got the atmosphere, the feel. The show had very good background music, just like Unsolved Mysteries did. At least for the first 5 years of the 7-year run. The first 5 of the 7 years was narrated by Paul Winfield. And there was even one, it was some town in Texas that he had, the only on-camera appearance that Winfield had was he was on a piano talking about some city in Texas. I think it was Tyler, it might be somewhere different, but he narrated the show from 1998 till 2003 and passed away. A&E still wanted to keep the show on the air, so they went with Keith Morrison, who's been everywhere. A lot of commercials, a lot of other documentaries, but still very, very... He was not as good as Paul Winfield, but was still pretty good. The show is still pretty good, but what happened now is, instead of it, like, the first 5 years of the show, the first segment, like 10 to 12 minutes, was all about the city or town it took place in. Now it was more... We'll talk about the city and town for about 3 or 4 minutes, but then we want to get right to the crime and then kind of integrate elements of the city and town along the way a little bit. It was still good the last 2 years, but it was not as good as the Winfield years, I would say. And then after 135 episodes, A&E decided to cancel the show because they're stupid. Because honestly, like, they could get an awful lot of episodes of this show. A lot more than 135. I mean, heck, it could still be running today and be like over 1,000, because there's so many cities and towns in America alone. And heck, if you could even do an international version if you wanted to of that. So now, believe it or not, this is considered Market Street. And we're getting ready to come up on the Von Stein murder house here. So But after the show ended in 2005, A&E aired reruns for a couple of years. Then it went on the unfortunately defunct Bio channel, which eventually became FYI, which eventually became A&E Leftovers channels. That does not include the good A&E stuff. Like, it's like, you know, Storage Wars and a bunch of other crap. Blech, you know. Washington welcome sign there. So, coming up on Smallwood is the name of the neighborhood here. And wow, did you see that? They almost cut that person off there. Smallwood. There we go. Okay. Hold your horses, everybody. Okay, now this is that's the house right there, as you can see. Doesn't look like anybody's home right now, so there we go. So this is Smallwood. Okay, so the very luxurious neighborhood, Smallwood. I'm gonna come around again here, and I think you'll be amazed. But that's the house right there, so. And we'll go ahead and take a look at it again here. Smallwood, right? Smallwood. So there we go. Anyway, now we'll drive through the neighborhood a little bit more. Hopefully, nobody knows what we're doing. Hope not. Anyway. But Smallwood is probably the most upper class neighborhood. Of course, the homes are at least from the 80s, maybe the 70s, right? But it still looks very nice. Very nice neighborhood. A lot of influential people live in this neighborhood, they say. But going back to City Confidential, the show. So it was on Bio Channel from about 2007 until the channel went extinct in 2013. I recorded some episodes on VHS tape, but unfortunately, my parents were getting divorced about that time, and they needed some room in the closet, and they inadvertently threw all the toast tapes away. Unfortunately. There's Alderson Drive. That street sign was featured in the documentary. Okay. And then, so now the question is, where can you get episodes now? There are a few on YouTube. There are like 5 on YouTube, 5 or 6 on YouTube. Very few. There's a few you could actually buy from A&E directly, but again, only 5 or 6 episodes. There was like 130 during the run. It's crazy. 135. The best place to watch City Confidential now is on A&E Crime Central, which is a monthly, it's a streaming service you pay $5 a month for. Now, They do not have all 135 episodes. I do not know why, but A&E and History Channel does this with all of their programming. I'm furious about it, by the way. Can't take it anymore. It's ridiculous. They have about 82 episodes. Okay, so there's about 50 missing episodes still. It's crazy, right? Of that particular show. It's crazy. But yeah, A&E Crime Central. It's available through Roku, through Amazon, any of those. You'll be able to see the episode about Washington. All the episodes I'm covering directly from that particular show, that particular set of episodes, because I do not really. The YouTube episodes are okay, but the video quality may not be as good as the A&E Crime Central video quality. I think you get my drift, right? Beautiful Bradford pear trees there. I think that's what those are. But what's really nice about this neighborhood is that there's more than there's not as good for city planning. There's more than one way in and one way out. There's not a whole lot of cul-de-sacs. What was that? Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this tour of City Confidential, the Von Stein murders. I will talk to you again later. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week. Bye-bye.